was the second video about creative problem solving, CPS, and the rest of the story, why we have selected this program and why we work with it. So there's two points I want to make. It just give you an overview of what some of the topics the children study when we do CPS, or in the older grades, future problem solving, FPS. And then secondly, why this process we work with the children on is so valuable to you as a parent, and even some suggestions of how you can use it to help guide your son or your daughter in making their own decisions about what they want to do, problems they want to solve, and so forth. So let me first give you some examples of first through fourth grade. I asked the teachers of the younger students to give me one of the recent lessons on creative problem solving with the little children. And they gave me this one. It was called, they were solving the problem of how can Little Red, like Little Red Riding Hood, get cookies to grandma's house without the wolf getting them first. It's terrific. So they brainstorm all kinds of possible ways that they might be able to get the cookies there, using their imagination, borrowing ideas that they've heard before, piggybacking on one another's ideas. And what they settled on was they were going to create a catapult to shoot the cookies over the wall, the danger of the wolf, and arriving at grandma's house so she could have the cookies. And so that was their solution. They singled on one. They thought that was their best. Whether it was or not is beside the point. The activity was valuable. And then they had to come up with a plan of action. And so they worked on a catapult, and they had all kinds of different ways to put it together, practice it, and do it. But it's a whole problem-solving process. Then when you get to the older children, that's the younger children, they do lots of fun things like that. The teachers reminded me that one of the important issues that they bring up with the children often is their mindset. I can do, I got to think, I put my mind to it. And it's a very positive growth mindset that they're instilling while they're having this fun time solving interesting problems. Then there's the future problem solving, and that begins in grade 6. And while I sure would encourage you to encourage your children to participate, this is one of the best programs I've seen in all my years in education. And what it is to address what experts see are going to be problems in the future. Right now, we're studying with the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders autonomous vehicles. And so you begin by doing all the research. What do we know about autonomous vehicles now? Where is the technology going? What impact does it have on safety, on cost, on cities? You look at the problem from all different aspects. What kind of difficulties with government from state to state in monitoring rules and laws for autonomous vehicles? When will they be safe enough to drive? Or better yet, are cars the best way to employ autonomous vehicles and the technology that's behind them? There's a lot being done in farming and other industries as well. In the past, the students have studied currency. You know, if you've been in the news, there's lots of issues related to currency and the challenges that we're facing as some of the differences that occur between countries. So once again, the students begin by doing the research, studying what the problems that are occurring, the opportunities that there may be with a cashless society, or all the other implications that it could mean. They're becoming familiar, first of all, with the facts. That's the first step with future problem solving, is to go through that problem solving mess, the mess finding. What are the issues that are going on that we'd like to attack? Then, of course, as a team, they come up with an underlying problem, and then they come up with solutions related to that. We did another one on urbanization a couple of years back. Those are all the problems with more and more people moving to the city and being consolidated in smaller places. Well, that has all kinds of problems that need to be solved, and challenges as well. So they do the research, they do their studying, and then they're presented with a future scenario. And then they make projections as to what they think could be the challenges that are involved: educational challenges, economic challenges, governmental challenges, safety challenges, from all different aspects to look at it. Well, you can see right away what a great training that is, to have them thinking, forward thinking of how things are going to be and how can I think about them. And probably really important is, how do I collect facts? Today the world's filled with opinions and often quite short on facts. So this is a wonderful training for them to know how to approach whether problems or challenges or opportunities. So that comes to the second thing I want to talk about with you is with parents, this CPS, mess finding, establishing a problem, articulating the problem, brainstorming solutions from many angles, people, money, whatever, and then coming up with a plan of attack, how to go at it. This is great conversation with your children. And I don't care how old they are, whether they're in the first grade or whether they're in the 8th grade. They're not going to do it on their own. They're going to do it. We do it at school. When I'm with 8th graders, I have them doing this all the time, asking them, what are your goals now? How do you want to get there? Who do you need to help you? Do you need money? Do you need your mom? Do you need your dad? Do you need to take another course? You're thinking all the time. But at home is probably the best place, because it's a chance to sit down, have a cup of hot chocolate or whatever it is, and then begin to explore the mess finding. Well, what are the problems you're facing, your son or your daughter? Or what are the opportunities that are coming up? Or what do you hope is going to get done? And then you talk. And you're kind of the energy behind that process. Children, maybe until they're in their 20s, they don't necessarily have the agency where I want to improve my life. That's not true all the way across the board. They need support. They need somebody who is with them to hold their hand on the one hand, but also become their willpower. Some of the little children are struggling to learn their computation skills. So a goal is, how do I memorize all my facts? They're not going to do that on their own. They don't have the backbone. They need teachers. Of course, we do that, but also parents. Honey, how about we learn the tables of 4, just you and me, and figure out when you're going to do it, once or twice a week for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. That's a very simple goal. The older children, 7th and 8th grade, they're thinking about high school, maybe even thinking about the kind of career they want to enter. Well, that's something to talk about. What does it take? What do you need? What's the best school to go to? Do we have anybody in our family who we can talk to? Is there any additional course you can take? You're a friend, you're a partner, and you're also the willpower, because they're children, they're going to fade when they set up goals. So it's mom or dad that's with them. Come on, let's do this. I'll help you with this. I'll help you with that. And so making this partnership with your son or daughter in establishing goals, becoming a creative problem solver in life, is probably one of the most wonderful things you can do with your sons and daughters. To hold them by the hand, figuratively speaking, and then to talk about opportunities and challenges and even problems. How do we solve this? They know, they learn from that. Mom and dad are on my side. They care about me. They might be a little strict. They might push me pretty hard when I get a little bit lazy and don't want to do the work that's necessary, but we're partners, and my parents want the best for me and for my whole life. So I hope you can see why I have felt this CPS, creative problem solving, is worth 2 sessions on Behind the Story, because it's such a central idea behind Birchwood School. Though we have an excellent academic program, more deeply than that, we want to help children create those skills for a becoming life. So we call it in our mission. Thank you very much.